Evet, katılımcılarımızın gelmesini bekliyoruz. Evet, merhabalar herkese. Hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün Amerika'nın prestijli üniversitelerinden Morgan State University Eğitim ve Maryland'de Yaşam'ı Ferhat Bey'den dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı soru cevap bölümünden yönlendirmeyi unutmayın. Buyurun Ferhat Bey, sahne sizin.
Merhaba herkese. İşte ben Ferhat Muazzami. De Morgan State Üniversitesi'nde International Student and Scholars Recruitment and Enrollment Program Manager olarak katılıyorum. İşte herkese hoş geldiniz. Şu kısa Morgan State tanıtım e, bölümüne. Ben kendim Kasım ayında Türkiye'de olacağım. Eğer yüz yüze görüşmek falan olursa ben İstanbul'da, Ankara'da ve İstanbul'da olacağım iki hafta boyunca orada inşallah görüşebiliriz. Şimdi eğer Zeynep Hanım uygun görseler presentation'ı başlatalım. İşte Morgan State University Maryland'de Baltimore'da olarak şuradan başlayalım. Morgan State University ben İngilizceye çevireceğim. Çünkü sanırım İngilizce daha iyi söylerim. Morgan State University, as we know it as MSU, is a historically black college and university located in Baltimore, Maryland. We are just about an hour north of Washington, D.C., and 3 hours south of New York. We do have 9,000 currently this semester. We do have 9,000, over 9,000 students, closing in on 10,000. Morgan has always welcomed students from different backgrounds and ethnicities. And we know although there are 5,000, more than 5,000 institutions in America, institutions and universities, Morgan State University is the only one whose whole campus has been recognized as a national treasure. So here's about the Morgan State. Maryland. Maryland, we are on the east coast of the United States. Although Maryland is the 28th in size, looking at the states between 50 states of United States, Morgan State is the Maryland is the 28th state size-wise, but in the year 2018-19, the academic year 2018-19, Maryland has hosted over 20,000 international students, which is about 18% of the whole the international population in the United States. Maryland itself is a very educated state between the 50 states. We are ranking on number 6 as of the 2018 because 40%, over 40% of Marylanders, Maryland populations, they do have a bachelor's degree or higher. So it's a very educated state with many, many institutions, including Morgan State, which is, by the way, one of the largest HBCUs in the whole United States. We do have nine schools and one college. To be brief, we do have the School of Architecture, Engineering, School of Computer Material, Mathematicals and Natural Sciences, School of Community Health and Policy, College of Liberal Arts, the School of Business, School of Education, the School of Social Work, and the Global Journalism and Communication. Between these schools, there are a number of these schools are working in the STEM areas. The others on the right side of the screen are the non-STEM schools and colleges. Maryland is a great place for actually education, study, and work after working, because we do have many international students who have graduated from Morgan and they found a job in this area, which we call it the DMV, which is the Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. There are many companies in many areas, different areas. You can see on the left of your screen. The areas like biohealth, like IT and cybersecurity, financial services, and hospitalities. Many of the big, the giants of the industry, they do have their headquarters stationed in Maryland. To name just a few that I think you might be familiar with, the Amazon's headquarters in Maryland, Marriott and Hilton hotels, their headquarters, McCormick, Under Armour, Black & Decker, and many more industry giants are located in Maryland. So this is a very safe place to get your education and find a job. And of course, if you want, you're welcome to stay at university and with your career and your life after that, after graduation. Between those schools we talked about, we do offer 60 bachelor's degree program, over 40 master's degree, and this year with adding 3 more programs for the PhD degrees. Now we are offering over 28 PhD programs, which 95% of these programs are accredited nationally. The other 5%, we always reserve that 5% for the new programs that we are starting. That means actually all our programs are accredited. They are recognized by the Maryland Higher Education and the United States Higher Education authorities. That 5% reserve we keep is for the new program we are starting every year. By the way, from year 1999, 2019, we are completely recognized by YÖK in Turkey. So they recognize Morgan State is one of the few American institutions that has been recognized by YÖK in Turkey. We were starting some programs with some universities in Istanbul and Ankara. That's why we went through this process, and now we are recognized by YÖK in Turkey. These are some details about the certificate programs. On the left side of your screen, you can see on the right side of the screen. You can see the different programs, which includes the certificate programs, fully online programs, high flex programs, which the fully online and the high flex programs, they of course started with the COVID-19 hitting the whole world. So right now we do have certificate, we do have fully online programs, and the high flex, which is a combination of online and face-to-face programs. We have been hosting, as Morgan State, we have been hosting international students for over 50 years, for over 5 decades. And currently, we do have students from over 35 countries. If you see a presentation from the Morgan State other officials, sometimes it comes to about over 60 countries, over 70 countries. But me, being an official in International Affairs Office, I do have a little bit more detailed information about this, I can assure you it's over 35 countries, not 70 countries, which you might hear in some places. Turkey, by the way, Turkey, as we know it right now, Turkey has been presented at Morgan State for about 8 to 10 years. I remember we were having students in engineering school when I was teaching in engineering school. We did have students from Turkey. Back then, it used to be Turkey. So we do have students. I'm going to get to that number in a few seconds in the next slide. But yes, we have been hosting Turkish students and Turkish faculty members. Currently, we do have a number of Turkish faculties in Morgan State teaching in Morgan and the students. So this is a breakdown of our different programs as it interests the international population are more interested in. This is the latest, which has been published in about 3 weeks now. You can see the breakdown of the different programs we are offering, and 919 international students who are at Morgan right now currently are enrolled in these programs. For example, the largest program we see with 237 here is our computer, mathematicals, and natural science the school with 237. Then our engineering school, because my background is engineering, I always make a point of the engineering. Our engineering school has 149 international students currently between the five different departments: transportation, industrial engineering, electrical engineering, civil engineering, and the transportation systems. So 149 international students are currently enrolled. By the way, the first line in this, the interdisciplinary and continuing study schools, which is a new school. It's added to Morgan State. You see the number is 2 in here. We did have 2 students in there. One of them is Burkan from Turkey, from Beykoz University. He graduated last December from Morgan State. So two international students in that new school. One of them was from Beykoz University, who was trying to get his dual degree with studying at Morgan and Beykoz at the same time. So this was one of our students, which I personally talked to him in Turkey when I was in there 2 years ago, and he came aboard, and he graduated last December. He received 2 degrees at the same time from Beykoz and Morgan. So in the next slide, at Morgan, a few pictures on this slide shows our beautiful campus, which I told you has been recognized as a national treasure between 5,000 plus institutions. And there is a reason behind that. The Morgan State has invested over $1 billion, close to $1 billion since 2010 on its campus and facilities. So as of today, we can say all our schools and programs, they do have new buildings with new classrooms, new labs. It's state of the art. So it's a beautiful campus. I had some guests last 2 weeks ago. They could not believe what they are seeing at Morgan State. It's a beautiful place to study and to see. It's overall, we are proud to call us Morgan State. So Morgan State University has a very high ranking nationwide, because as I said, Maryland itself is ranked as the number 6 destination for education in the whole nation. Between 50 states, we are holding the number 6 state as your destination for education. We do have 100 plus different organizations and activities like 100 plus sports clubs, arts, music, other activities, and student organizations. A few years ago, the students from Turkey and Iran, because we did have over, I guess right before COVID, we were up to about 16 students from Turkey, I guess. Yes. So the Turkey and the Iranian students, they got together and they started an organization as the Turkish and Iranian Students Organization, which still exists. They have a Facebook page. You can find it, and I think it's easy to get to get a membership in there. So these are the programs, extracurricular. This is besides what you do in class, because I know it's not, you're not coming over just to study, go to the classes, pass tests, and get your degree. There are many, many other activities you can participate in. So finally, we get to I guess these slides and information will be distributed between whoever is attending. These are the links I've put in here and some information about how to apply and how to check the programs. For example, on bachelor's degree, you can see the websites. On the first link on this slide is the website for undergraduate admission. You can see the programs, different programs, the costs and everything linked to it. And for application, you can actually use the second link in here to start an application. But before you start, I'm gonna just go to the last bullet point, some admission requirements in here. First of all, when you decide to start your application, you're gonna need to have your degree evaluated. I mean, you do have a degree, you do have a high school diploma or another bachelor's degree in Turkey or other institutions. You're gonna have to evaluate that based on the United States standard. One of the few companies that are doing, I put three actually. The organizations that we work with are West World Education Services, or ECE, the Educational Credential Evaluators, ECE. So you need to send your documents there to have them evaluated based on the based on the United States standards of the courses. Me, myself, having my bachelor's degree, engineering coming from Iran, I evaluated my courses back then. We used to have 151 credit to graduate. From that 151 credits, my 115 credits were accepted, which was equal to a bachelor's degree in the United States. So I didn't need to go through additional programs to start my master's and then the PhD. The English language proficiency, IELTS, TOEFL, and maybe another one is coming in about a month. I forgot the name, but that's kind of easier and more feasible than IELTS or this TOEFL. So this might be required. For undergraduate admission, I know for a fact it is required. So you better start working on these degrees too. And a copy of your financial statement, which shows you have the means to study in the United States. But for application, you don't need this financial statement to begin with. This is after you get admitted to the university and we start working on your I-20s, which is the document you need to go to the embassy to get your visa, to get your F1 visa. That financial statement is gonna be in that step. You don't need that to start your application. Here is for the master's and PhD programs. Of course, the many requirements are the same as undergraduate. If you're coming from outside the United States. Here I actually in this slide, I did put the first link as the link just to go look at the programs, see what programs are available, which one fits your needs and your the career path. The second one here again is the link for application. You can start the application. There is a GPA requirement to attend Morgan State's the graduate programs, which is a 3, but actually slightly under 3. We prefer, of course, the GPA between 3 and 4. But if your GPA is slightly lower than 3, you can still apply. Then you get your conditional admission the first or the second semester. If you get your GPA is fixed, you're going to be transitioned to the unconditional. That means the regular program. So this was for the graduate level, for master's and PhD applicants. Here are some links for scholarships. Of course, we know it's expensive to the study, either in Turkey or in Europe or in America. Here are the links for some scholarships that you can apply. These all are special to international students, students coming in. There is a new one, which the reason I'm coming to Turkey next month is to work with Atlas University, because we're going to grant from Erasmus Plus. I'm sure you're familiar with the Erasmus because it's a European program. They help you get education. It used to be education in Europe, but now they have expanded to the whole world. That means this Erasmus Plus program might be your first go-to for scholarships. But there are scholarships available in this the slide, as you can see. You can apply to this. You can maybe get one or more. There are students who are using 2, 3 scholarships at the same time, and they are not paying anything. By the way, before we go, let me look at my time to see. Yes, we do still have some time to go with. For the undergraduate programs, for the lisans diyelim. For undergraduate programs, you need to actually attend the school for a semester or 2. Then, of course, you can participate in research programs after you get to know your professors, your faculty. You can participate in these programs to get funds, to get stipends, to get help for your, financial wise. For the graduate level, for PhD and master's degree, it is very easier because Morgan State is a research-based institution. Research-based institutions are being categorized as R4, R3, R2, R1, R1 being the highest, which is only a few universities in the whole United States are R1 institution. Morgan State is becoming an R1 institution in 2 years. We are currently in R2 category, but we have been we have reached the goal. We have reached the line. We just need to maintain our the position in there. In 2 years, Morgan is going to join the R1 institutions program, the research-based institutions, which is actually shows there are a lot of money Morgan State is bringing in. That borderline, that bar that I shared with you a few minutes ago, which we have reached, is $100 million in grant. When an institution reaches $100 million a year in grant money, it can be considered as an R1. So yes, we do have some institutions going over $1 billion, like Hopkins, like the other ones in California, a few universities. So Morgan State has reached the threshold, as I told you, for the last 2 years. Now we just need to maintain this threshold for 2 years. Then we will be recognized as an R1 institution. So that's good news for our graduate level students, because the money is going to be available to support them financially. So these are, as I said, these are the links that you can check out, see, apply, I would do that right after you get your admission letter from Morgan State. After you apply, I would go and apply for these the scholarships. And finally, as I said, the first line here is the scholarships are available for undergrad and grad programs, which I said for the graduate programs are easier. If you really think Morgan State is the place to be, I would recommend to think about it, to think about Morgan, because of many the program. You can actually, we do have partnerships in with the universities in Ankara and Istanbul, Beykoz University, Fenerbahçe, Bahçeşehir, and finally this our new partner Atlas University, which is a new university in there, which is growing very fast. Beykoz is growing very fast. It's a new institution in Istanbul, and TED University in Ankara. You can get information about Morgan from there because we do have good partnerships with them. So the first step I would do as an applicant, you need to go ahead and check the programs availability, the programs that you want, that you need, to see if they are available in which institution. Hopefully you will find it at Morgan. Then check the admission requirements, which I had it in the previous slides, but you can find them in the website. Then the evaluating your transcript, which I talked about it, I mentioned, I emphasized on it. It's that WES, the EC or the Spartan, which you can have your degree, your credentials evaluated with the American standard. Then check the application deadlines. Don't miss the deadlines. Financial certification after the admission, as I said before, you don't need that to start with. Then after you get admitted to the university, by showing your financial certification, your financial credentials, we're gonna issue an I-20. So having that I-20 in hand, you can start making appointments and going to the American embassies for your visa. So these were the steps. And one thing that lately is happening are the appointment for visa. To get it, it is after the COVID. It's a little bit lengthy process. It takes time to get appointments. Sometimes the appointments are for 3, 2, 4, 5, 6 months. So please, right after you get your admission from Morgan, you get the letter that congratulations, you are admitted to this program, to that program. The first thing I would do is to go after making an appointment with the embassy, because you won't need any documentation for that from the university. The documentation, so to speak, is the I-20 unit, but because these I-20s are actually issued for one specific semester, we would rather for you to have an appointment to see when you're going to the embassy for the interview. So then we can give you the I-20 for the best possible semester that you will be starting at Morgan. So please be mindful of that appointment for visa from American embassies. By the way, that Burkan, which I said, he went to American embassy in Ankara, asking for a visa because he wanted to attend his graduation in December last year. They gave him a 10 years multiple entry visa to the United States. He came here in December. He graduated. Right now, I was talking to him 2 weeks ago. He is in California with his uncle. He came with the visa he had because he has a 10 years visa, multiple entry. He can come and go anytime he wants. And this last slide here, these are some information how you can get in touch with me, with us, actually. The international.admission@morgan.edu is one of my emails. It comes direct to me. There's an international.affairs Morgan, which belongs to our office. Our officials can get access to that. And as I said, because in November I will be in Turkey, I will be in Ankara and Istanbul. So this is my WhatsApp number. That's my personal WhatsApp number. If you want to get in touch with me, if you have any questions, any concerns you want to talk about, you can get in touch with me using that 949-285-2505 number. That's my personal number, by the way. It's accessible. But if you do so, if you do have a question, if you do want to see me, please start your conversation with IEFT 2023. So I know it belongs to some of you in Turkey. So I respond to it accordingly. Anyway, I'm going to open the floor for questions. I will answer the questions as much as I can. Hopefully, Mr. Alzain, my colleague, has joined us. I don't see him in here, but yes, he is here. I see.
So
Yes,
I'm
he is
here.
here. He will be answering the questions about the immigration and the visa processes. So I will open the floor for questions, and hopefully, we would answer the best we can. Thank you very much, and iyi akşamlar. Teşekkürler. Hi, Mr. Alzain, you want to introduce yourself before we go to the question and answer session?
Yes. Yeah, my name is Alzain. I am the interim director at the Office of International Student Services. I'm the BDSO handling all I-20s. I'm working here in the office with Mr. Farhad Mazami. And I just want to say, especially for undergrad and those who want to apply for undergrad degrees, um, I wanted to check out the IELTS test because that's important. And Morgan requires a score of 5 out of 9. So the band is 9, but the score that Morgan will accept is 5. It's very competitive, you know. The idea that they choose this score 5 to just make it competitive and to kind of accept as many international students as possible, which is, I think, is a good idea. But I encourage you to check out the IELTS. IELTS is and a little bit easier version of TOEFL. If you compare it to TOEFL, TOEFL is a little bit complicated than IELTS coming from Cambridge University and make it a little bit to kind of tailor or suit international students. And it's called International English Language Testing. So check that out first, and then Mr. Farhad provide you with very useful information. You can go to our website. You can start your application from there, especially undergrad. Those who want to apply for undergrad, the admission process is a little bit, not complicated, and then, yeah, we are here to answer any question you might have, and we're looking forward to see you here at Morgan State. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alzain. Actually, I'm going to go after the questions. The question number 1 is coming from Melissa Assard. I hope I pronounced it correct. So it says, I was wondering what kind of social clubs you have the students can socialize. One of the largest one, one of the biggest one, of course, as I said, there are students from different regions. They gather in groups. I knew that the Iranian and the Turkish students used to, they did start such a club. Right now, the largest one, which kind of covers all our international students, or most of them, is the One Tribe, which is actually very active, it's a place that if I wasn't a student, especially an international students, I would actually recommend that to the other students too, because they have good activities. last weekend on Sunday, actually, they did have a the issue. I did go and pick up some food, some halal food from a Persian restaurant, kebab. Of course, Turkey being famous for its kebab. I did pick up the halal food kebab from a Persian restaurant and actually dropped it off to one of those the One Tribe sessions. So yes, there are many clubs, sport clubs. Lately, as of yesterday, the end of last week, I saw the yoga clubs that the students have formed. They were doing yoga outdoors in the beautiful campus. They were doing that yesterday was raining. They were doing that in the second floor of the library, which is actually, you can, because of the window sizes, you can feel that you're sitting outside. It's something like that. So
Yeah.
it's a fun place. It's a fun place.
Can I add one more thing,
Yes,
Farhad?
go ahead.
Yeah, this is especially for graduate students who are in master's degree and PhD degrees. There is a graduate student association, and that's a big association here on campus for grad students. You can engage in research and conferences is huge. You can participate on that as a grad student.
Thank you very much. It says, how much is the yearly tuition fee? We do have another attendee who's asking that question about the tuition. The standard tuition, let me go back in my, okay. In here, actually, you see the outline, the bold. For I-20, we normally ask for a 35,000 US dollars for 1 year. This is not just the tuition. This is the everything you will need. Of course, as I said, you might be able to actually to win one of those scholarships, which I showed you in a slide. For graduate students, even before you come to campus, you can get in touch with the program directors, with your faculties, with your professors, show interest. If I'm you, I would do some research on their background and see what's the similarities between your area and their area, what kind of research you have done, what kind of work papers you have done. You can even get the assistantship even before coming abroad. So that's one of these. But the standards right now is $32,722, I guess, which we need to be able to issue an I-20 for you. I would do that for the first year, of course, because I know from the year 2, from the semester 2, you're gonna get to know the programs, get to know the different research areas, get to know your faculty and professors, and for sure they're gonna start chipping in. Because as I said, when we become an R1 institution, the money is gonna be there. The money is gonna be there, especially for the graduate and PhD student. So I'm going to the next, okay, next question. It says, do you have online programs? Yes, we do. We did have online program even before COVID, but as the COVID hit in 2019, all the classes suddenly went to an online format. They just kept some of those formats and they created new programs. For example, I can remember in our health department, I mean the health education department, they did create when they created those online programs because of COVID, they just kept it like it is. So you can actually apply for an online program, fully online program. You can start the program from the comfort of your home in Turkey and then graduate from that online program. Then, but it's not an online university. That's the good thing, because we do have online universities, which I'm not gonna make any comments on that, but we are not an online institution. Morgan State is a 155-year-old institution. It's accredited fully. But yes, you can just pick an online program, a specific online program, participate graduate, then you can go to the American embassy. We'll give you the letter. You're graduating. You get your visa. You come and you walk on the stage. You receive your diploma. Yes, we do have fully online program if that's what you want, and that is actually is a good way to study, because from the comfort of your home you can, yes, you can get a Morgan degree. Yes, we do have the online programs. Then Cheatham Coach is asking, how does Morgan State University differ from other universities in the region? Okay, that's a good point. As I said, I'm gonna start kind of big on that. You said from the other universities in region. I'm gonna tell you from the other universities in the whole United States. Over 5,000 universities in the United States. Morgan State is the only one who has been recognized as a national treasure. That's the beautifulness of our the campus. But I'm sure that's not what you asked for. So Morgan State, I would say the vast programs, because in the United States, I know for a fact, because I've been in there. I know in Turkey, a university they can have its programs. Then another university next to it can have the same programs. Let's say the engineering, let's say architecture, everything. But here in the United States, the universities in the same region, they really can't have exact duplicate programs. So when we are talking about 140 some programs at Morgan State, the other universities are not allowed to have it. Like something that maybe Johns Hopkins has, which is in a close proximity to us, to Morgan State. If they do have that program, we cannot just duplicate the same program and offer it. For example, you cannot just get the civil engineering at Morgan or in Johns Hopkins or in here or in there. And Morgan State being one of the oldest ones, it's 155-year-old. So Morgan State is holding some degree that the other universities cannot offer. That's the first point. The second point is actually the fees. Of course, if you want to go to Johns Hopkins, yes, you're going to spend 120 grand per year to study at Johns Hopkins. Morgan State being an HBCU, it has the backing of the government money, the state money, everything pours in as an HBCU. So yes, our tuitions, our prices are, I mean 10 times, 20 times more reasonable than some other institutions in here, because the government of the United States, the state, are backing up. That means the government of the United States is paying it's subsidizing most of your the education here. That's one of the things you might want to consider. You can go to the website, check out the different programs at Morgan. Just not the same program, because it won't exist in the neighboring, in the close universities, but you can compare them to the similar programs between Morgan and there. The tuitions, the costs, and the cost of living. Of course, the cost of living is going to be the same because it's in Maryland. So that's one of the biggest. I'm sure that is what Cheatham wanted to ask, to see how. And when they shared you, when IEFT shares these slides with you, I would go to this slide here, and in here you can see the difference between Morgan and other institutions. In the chart at the right side of your screen, the big chart, it shows the Maryland, the Morgan States being first. For example, actually in here, the first architecture and related services, the first actual science, the first, yes, we can see the difference between the Morgan and there. This is academic wise. I told you about the financial economic wise. And again, I'm really proud to be at Morgan because of our facilities and new. It's a state of art. I hope you could just come over for 10 days, look at different institutions at Morgan and compare it yourself. So that was Chidam's questions. I'm going to go to another anonymous attendee, which is what are the fall semester application deadlines? Mr. Alzain, do you have any information about that? I know the different programs, the different schools, they do have slightly different schedules for admission, but applications, they are currently being taken for fall semester. I'm going to ask Mr. Alzain to jump in and add any information he has.
Yeah, I think for undergrad, is until the end of November for undergrad. But for grad, the end of October. So if you want to apply for master's or PhD, you can apply now before the end of October, because I think November 1st is a deadline for master's and PhD.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm going to add just one thing. Please don't hold me, don't hold the university for this. But because of the COVID, those deadlines, those application deadlines are not rock solid, flat. This is the day. I'm not talking for Morgan only. I'm talking for the other universities too, because they are really, really flexible right now. As the universities in Turkey, I know the universities in Turkey are acting very flexible when it comes to the deadline for applications. So that doesn't mean just hold on, don't do anything, just wait. Just to try to start it on time, as Mr. Alzain said, till end of October for graduate and till end of November for undergraduate. But if for some reason you couldn't get one of your documents in by in time, just submit your applications, because anytime after even the submission, you can go and complete your application. Just try to start it, put the information, the primary information in, submit it before the deadline. But of course, you can go back and complete your documentation. For example, if your evaluation papers are not ready by WES or the other company, you can still submit your application and go back into the application and complete. And as I said, it's kind of 2 days, 3 days, 5 days. They do have flexibility. I know about the graduate programs. I think the undergrad acts the same way. So the next question is, actually, it is the last question. What are the housing options? The housing options, Morgan State, in one of my slides about Morgan facilities, actually, I'm going to go back to it. Housing is available at Morgan. If you see on the picture at the middle, on the lower middle part, those are the dormitories. Morgan State used to have dormitories, the number of buildings there, which were old. In the last few years, last 2-3 years, the building on the right side of that picture in the middle on the bottom is the new the dormitory. You can use this is a housing option for you. Another one, because that dormitory has 800 beds in it for 800 students. It just got filled up on the first week of the semester, first 10 days of the semester. So the president of the United, Dr. Wilson, ordered building, starting to build 2 more. Another one is being worked on right now as we speak. I can see it from our office. They are working on it. It's going to be available from fall 2024. Then, yes, there's another one starting again, which is going to be, I guess, that's going to go in effect for fall 2025. Actually, my short answer to that housing is going to be that is available. This kind of facilities are available. But besides what we have in the university, on the campus, like these 2 and the other which are being built, there are places very close to Morgan campus, which we do have contracts with them. They do have special pricing for Morgan State the students. So, yeah, I don't think that's gonna be a big issue. So I know when you decide to come abroad, it's gonna be easy to manage, to cope with that. So the next question we got Emin Çağrı, evet, Ulaş, which is actually asking, can you talk a little bit about the scholarships if there are ones, since I missed some part of the webinar? Okay, for scholarships, I did share the screen. These are the, okay, this is kind of small, but I'm sure after they shared this slides with you from IEFT officials, they shared this. You can go to this links. You can apply for scholarships. These are special for international students. I picked last year for this presentation. These are just a few of many. Then I spoke about availability of scholarships for graduate students. I mean the graduate and PhD students at Morgan. The assistantship, the scholarships are available. For undergraduate, you need to actually come aboard, get to know your program directors, your professors, and those things. Again, these are the same professors who are teaching at the doctoral and the graduate level. So when when a faculty has a grant under his name, because most of our faculties do have grants, they can spend it on their doctoral students, the master's students, or if they see this undergrad student really needs it and I mean, it shows signs of hopes. It's he or she is active. She's doing this. She's doing that. Yes, of course, they do have the grant. They do have the means to help the students. But as I said, for the graduate and doctoral level, it's really easy. I do have students who are currently actually got admitted to the programs, but even before they come in, they secured some kind of assistantship, tuitions, or tuitions plus stipends for their programs even before they come in. So please be mindful, check these scholarship links. You can actually apply for multiple. You don't need to apply only for one, pick and choose one. No, it's not like that. You can apply for a number of these scholarships. Then what I'm going to say, just get in touch with your department, even maybe before, because from the time you get admitted to the time you can actually attend the classes here, you can just get off the plane at Maryland, at the Washington. There is time. You can actually get in touch with your program directors, with your faculties, and try to get assistantship right then and there. So when you're coming over, you're sure. But for your I-20, which is you are going to the embassy, we're gonna need those financial statements to be able to give you an I-20. So I hope I have answered the question. Any other questions, you can email me. My email was on the last slide here. Actually, this is the, oh, sorry. This is the international.admission@morgan.edu. It comes directly to me. I'm sure the officials from IEFT Talk will share me, Mr. Alzain, and Dr. Astatki's email with you if you requested it. And as I said, in November, I will be in Turkey. I will be staying in Beşiktaş, the Conrad Hotel, and I will be more than happy to answer any additional questions for you. You can just get in touch with me with that 949 number via WhatsApp. But please mention that this is in regards to IEFT 2023, so I know and I answer on time and accordingly. Thank you very much, and I think I'm kind of done at this point. Thank you. Teşekkürler ederim.
Yes, thank you very much for your presentation, Mr. Farhad and Aldain, and thank you for your answers for the questions. You covered all of the questions, and it was a very informative session for the attendees. Also, I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Umarım sizin için de faydalı bir webinar olmuştur. Morgan State University ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için chat kısmında paylaşmış olduğumuz mail adresine Farhad Bey'e ulaşabilirsiniz. Bir sonraki webinarlarımızda görüşmek üzere. Thank you very much again, Farhad. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Teşekkürler ederim. Görüşürüz efendim.
Teşekkürler. Bye bye.
Sağ olun. Bye.
Thank you.